Hello students, welcome to this video lecture on opportunity assessment tools. We have defined what is opportunity. Now we have to turn our attention to recognizing it, whether it is a very good opportunity, not a proper opportunity. Yes, so there are so many tools to assess the potential of the opportunity. Let us discuss all these tools one by one. Opportunity recognition tools, they are framework and methods used by social entrepreneurs to systematically identify, assess, and validate opportunities for creating social impact. We need to validate these opportunities, whether they are feasible, whether they'll have a real impact in the society. All these things should be assessed. So these tools help evaluate both internal capabilities, that is what the enterprise can do, and external environments, so what's going on in the world, ensuring that the opportunity is both viable and aligned with the mission of the entrepreneur or organization. They also help assess whether an idea is worth pursuing based on factors such as market demand, competition, economic conditions, personal and organizational goals. So, let us discuss internal context evaluation tools. These tools actually help assess the tangible and intangible resources available within the social enterprise. So, this includes tangible resources, that is, financial resources, capital, funding, physical assets such as offices, equipment, human resources, staff, volunteers. So, what are our intangible resources? Reputation and brand value, leadership capabilities, organizational culture and value, networks and relationships with the stakeholders. Key tools, resource audit. This is an inventory of what the enterprise currently possesses or can assess. So they need to conduct an audit to find out this. SWOT analysis. So SWOT analysis evaluates the internal strengths and weakness alongside external opportunities and threats. So core competency mapping. This one identifies unique internal strengths that give the enterprise a strategic advantage. Example, a deep community trust, local knowledge, innovation capacity. So, what are the external environment evaluation tools? These tools help understand the broader context in which the social enterprise operates. So, what are the key factors that have to be assessed? Social and cultural trends, political and legal frameworks, technological advancements, economic conditions, and environmental challenges. So, what are the key tools to assess the external factors? Pestle analysis. Already we discussed that. It analyzes political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal factors that might affect the opportunity. Next one is we need to map the stakeholders. So identifies this mapping, this type of tool identifies key individuals or groups who influence or are affected by the enterprise, that is the customers, beneficiaries, funders, local governments. Porter's five forces adapted. It evaluates competitive pressures such as rivalry among existing solutions, threat of substitutes, that is, traditional aid government programs, bargaining power of funders or beneficiaries, and barriers to entry, policy, funding, and capacity. So, evaluating the attractiveness of the idea. Once an idea or opportunity is identified, it must be assessed for viability and impact potential. This step is critical in deciding whether to proceed with the development. So, what are the aspects that has to be or have to be evaluated? Market and industry potential. Is there a clear and unmet need or demand? Is there a demand? The demand is real or what? Who are the target beneficiaries or customers? How large and accessible is the market? Then, social impact potential. Will the solution create meaningful and measurable change? Does it address root causes or just symptoms? Economic and financial feasibility. Can the project become financially sustainable? What are the costs, revenue streams, and potential funding models? Next one is competitive advantage. Is the idea distinctive compared to existing alternatives? What makes this enterprise uniquely positioned to deliver it? Next one is scalability and replicability. Can the idea be scaled to other regions or populations? Can it be replicated by other organizations for greater impact? Next one is alignment with personal and organizational goals. Does the idea align with the mission, vision, and values of the entrepreneur? Is it something they are passionate about and willing to commit to long term? Opportunity checklist, a scorecard to evaluate ideas' attractiveness across multiple dimensions: social needs, sustainability, funding potential, etc. Business model canvas, that is social version, a visual tool for mapping out the value proposition, beneficiaries, key activities, partners, revenue streams, and cost structure, with emphasis on impact. Theory of change framework. It helps outline how and why a particular intervention will lead to the desired social impact. Key insight. Opportunity recognition in social entrepreneurship isn't just about spotting a need. It's about rigorously evaluating whether your enterprise can and should act on it. By using structured tools to assess resources, context, and feasibility, social entrepreneurs can reduce risk, stay mission aligned, and increase the chances of creating lasting change. Next one is opportunity recognition tools. Entrepreneurs use a range of opportunity recognition tools that help evaluate the viability and potential impact of an idea. Internally, these tools examine the organization's tangible resources, such as funding, infrastructure, and skilled personnel, as well as intangible resources like reputation, leadership qualities, networks, and organizational culture. Tools such as SWOT analysis, resource audits, and core competency mapping help entrepreneurs understand their strengths and limitations. External tools. Pestle analysis allow entrepreneurs to explore broader environmental influences, that is political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal, that might affect the success of the initiative. Additionally, stakeholder mapping and a modified Potter's Five Forces framework help evaluate the level of competition, availability of alternatives, and relationships with key influencers in the ecosystem. Once an idea is identified, its attractiveness and feasibility are further assessed based on factors such as market demand, industry potential, competitive edge, financial sustainability, and alignment with personal or organizational goals. Tools like the social business model canvas, theory of change, and structured opportunity evaluation checklists provide a comprehensive framework for this analysis. Key insights. These tools ensure that the chosen opportunity is not only innovative and socially impactful, but also realistically achievable and aligned with the long term vision of the enterprise. Ultimately, they help transform abstract ideas into concrete, actionable strategies that can create lasting and scalable social change. SWOT analysis to scan the environment. SWOT analysis is one of the most widely used tools for environmental scanning in both business and social entrepreneurship. It helps an organization assess its internal capabilities and external environment in a structured manner, providing insights into how best to position an idea, project, or enterprise. The acronym SWOT stands for S for strengths, W for weaknesses, O for opportunities, and T for threats. This framework is particularly useful in social entrepreneurship as it allows changemakers to evaluate what they can leverage internally and what external factors could support or hinder their impact efforts. Internal environment, strengths and weaknesses. These relate to the internal capabilities and limitations of the organization. Strengths, internal positive factors. These are internal attributes that give the social enterprise an advantage in achieving its mission. Examples include a passionate, skilled team, deep community connections, strong reputation or trust in the community, innovative models or scalable solutions, access to funding or unique partnerships. Weaknesses, that is, internal negative factors. These are internal limitations that could hinder the success or growth of the enterprise. Examples: limited funding or unstable financial resources, lack of technical expertise, poor infrastructure or inefficient systems, inadequate data for decision making, weak brand recognition or outreach. These relate to external factors, that is, opportunities and threats. These factors relate to external circumstances that are beyond the organization's control but can significantly affect its success. Opportunities, they are external positive factors. These are favorable external trends or conditions that the enterprise could exploit to its benefit. Examples: a growing demand for sustainable products or services, policy changes that support social ventures, new technologies that improve service delivery, access to new funding sources, example, impact investing grants, social awareness trends that align with the enterprise's mission. Threats, that is, they are external negative factors. These are external challenges or risks that could damage the enterprise's performance or viability. Examples: new competitors or substitutes entering the space, shifting regulations that limit operations, economic downturns affecting donor or customer funding, resistance from traditional systems or political bodies, misalignment with changing beneficiary expectations. Then using SWOT for external environmental scanning. When used for environmental scanning, SWOT helps social entrepreneurs to understand how their internal realities align with external conditions, identify strategic fit between what they can offer and what the world needs, formulate strategies that leverage trends to capture opportunities, develop contingency plans to mitigate threats and address weaknesses, make informed decisions on whether an opportunity is viable, sustainable, and impact driven. So, implementing these opportunities. For an opportunity to be implementable, whether it is good, feasible, possible, it will have an impact, all these things. So, several key factors need to align. So, here are some of the elements that make opportunities actionable and successful. So, clarity of purpose and goals. The opportunity must address a clear problem or unmet need. A specific, well-defined objective gives focus and direction. It's easier to implement an opportunity when you know exactly what you want to achieve. What is my goal? What I would like to change in the society? What sort of impact my solution should create? So, feasibility. The opportunity must be realistic and achievable. This involves having the necessary resources, that is, funding, technology, human capital, etc., as well as the ability to execute the idea effectively. Feasibility is also about timing. The opportunity must align with the right moment or market conditions for it to be successfully executed. SWOT analysis gives a comprehensive snapshot of where a social enterprise stands and what path it should take. It encourages realistic evaluation of capabilities while keeping an eye on emerging trends, challenges, and community needs. By regularly scanning the environment using SWOT, social entrepreneurs can stay agile, adapt their strategies, and remain focused on creating lasting social impact. So, social enterprise, the mission is to provide affordable, eco-friendly solar lanterns to get off-grid rural communities, improving education, safety, and health and outcomes. So, this is the SWOT analysis chart of that particular company, that is Bright Light Initiative. Strength: They have strong community relationships built through local engagement, environmentally sustainable, low maintenance product, experienced founding team with background in renewable energy, partnerships with NGOs and local schools. So that is the strength. Internal factors, weakness, negative factors, limited startup capital and funding resources. They don't have proper logistic system for remote delivery. The small team with limited marketing skills and reliance on imported solar parts, supply chain vulnerability. So what are the opportunities available to them? So rising global interest in clean energy and climate solutions, government subsidies and grants for green technologies, new mobile payment systems for easier rural transactions, increasing demand for solar lighting among rural students and small businesses. So, what are the threats? Entry of larger competitors with lower prices, political instability in target regions, weather conditions affecting solar charging efficiency, misinformation or lack of awareness about solar energy benefits. So, this is the SWOT analysis of this particular company, Bright Light Initiative. So, insights from SWOT strategy. Brightlight can leverage its strong relationships and sustainability mission to expand outreach while working to improve logistics and reduce part dependency by exploring local assembly options. So instead of importing, they can go for local one. Action plan: apply for government and climate tech grants, develop basic marketing training for team members, and invest in educational campaigns about the benefits of solar lighting. So, outside in analysis is a strategic approach that starts by examining the external environment before looking inward at the organization. The core idea is that opportunities and threats in the external world should shape how an enterprise develops its strategies, products, services, and impact models. Rather than starting with internal strengths and capabilities, as in traditional inside out thinking, the outside in approach asks, what are the current trends, unmet needs, and shifts in the world around us? And how can we align our enterprise to respond to them? So, key components of outside in analysis. This analysis involves scanning and interpreting several layers of the external environment. First one is macro environment, that is broad trends. We can use pestle analysis, that is political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal factors that shape the landscape in which the enterprise operates. Examples: growing concern about climate change, opportunity for renewable energy solutions, rising youth unemployment, need for skill based social training programs, advancement in mobile technologies, opens access to remote education or healthcare. So, opportunities involved for risk management and adaptability. Opportunities often involve uncertainty or risk, but being able to identify and manage potential risks is critical for implementation. The opportunity needs to have built in flexibility or adaptability so it can evolve in response to unexpected challenges or changing circumstances. So, industry environment tools, Porter's five forces adapted. So, it analyzes the competitive and operational structure of the sector. Who are the current players? What are the barriers to entry? Are there alternative solutions already in place? How powerful are funders, regulators, or beneficiaries? Example: a social enterprise aiming to provide low cost housing must understand the construction industry, government housing policies, and affordability trends. So, contrasting with inside out thinking, inside out starts with what the organization can do, outside in starts with the world needs, what exactly the world needs. Inside out focuses on strengths, competencies, existing products. It focuses on gaps, problems, and unmet needs. Risk may miss market shifts or societal relevance. Benefit aligns closely with current demand and change. Why it matters in social entrepreneurship? In social entrepreneurship, the goal is not to just to innovate, but to create meaningful, relevant, and lasting social impact. That's why an outside-in approach is so powerful. It ensures that ideas are driven by actual needs, not just internal enthusiasm. So it helps avoid wasting resources on irrelevant solutions, deepen community trust through relevance, align with policies, trends, or funding priorities, spot high potential underserved niches. So, key takeaway: outside in analysis helps social entrepreneurs stay grounded in reality by listening to the world first, its changes, challenges, and people. Entrepreneurs can craft solutions that are timely, impactful, and sustainable. It turns the world into a source of inspiration, not just a backdrop for action. So, key takeaway in outside in analysis: it is a strategic approach that begins by examining the external environment before looking inward at the organization. In the context of social entrepreneurship, it emphasizes understanding broader social, economic, technological, environmental, and political trends to identify pressing issues, unmet needs, and emerging opportunities. By using tools like PEST or PESTLE analysis, market studies, stakeholder interviews, and industry mapping, social entrepreneurs gain a clear picture of the world around them. Who is being underserved? What policies are changing? What technologies are emerging? And what social problems are gaining urgency? This external understanding then shapes the enterprise's mission, services, and strategies. Unlike the inside out approach, which starts with internal strengths and capacities, the outside in method ensures that the social enterprise stays relevant and grounded in real world demands. It leads to more impactful and sustainable solutions because it responds directly to what the world truly needs rather than what the organization simply wants to offer. Thank you.